It's a bear. Good morning. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful and still cool Lauderdale by the Sea. It's like 70 degrees right now. Pretty amazing, although we are overcast and a bit rainy. Still a lovely day out there. Well, let's get on to today's show. It's going to be a quick one, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to try to breeze through this. My point here with my thumbnail is made by stars, not by humans. That's the comparison that I have with gold, silver, and platinum versus cryptocurrencies. And we're going to kind of touch on cryptocurrencies. I believe they have their place in society. However, not as money, I don't believe, because I think money should be backed by something, something like gold or silver. That's my opinion, of course. However, there's a lot of comparisons made out there between cryptos, gold, and silver, and the comparisons are not fair either way, either for cryptos or nor gold and silver. I see cryptos as a means of transferring wealth from one point to another. No, notice I said wealth, not necessarily money, because I don't see cryptos as money. However, I think that some governments, and we're going to touch on that real quickly, are starting to see cryptos as money, and they're trying to push the idea that it is money. However, money has to have some kind of stability, and cryptos don't have any stability. They're kind of like a strange, it's a weird electronic marketplace that the more people put their money into it, and again, I'm not saying it's a Ponzi or anything, but the more people that put their money into it, the higher the price goes up. But there's no fundamental reason. There's nothing backing it. There's no reason people put. There's nothing there. You're not buying anything. It's a digital 1 and 0. There's really nothing. It's nothing. I don't know how to put it any better. However, I do see its use, again, as a transfer of wealth between point A and point B. And I see a great value as a peerless type of use of way, a way of transferring wealth from point A to point B without having banks getting involved. So I think it's really cool in that manner. However, as money, I don't see crypto as money at all. Money has to be a finite source backed by something. And of course, the US dollar is not even really money, but at least it's a piece of paper. In the event of a power outage and an event of internet outage, you always at least have that piece of paper you can trade. You could be anywhere. You could be in the jungles of Costa Rica where there is no power, there is no internet, and at least with the US dollar, you could buy yourself a coconut or something like that. That is the value of money. And the value of money is also stability. You don't want money that, your dollar's worth $100 one day and $50 the next day in buying power. And that's what you've got going on with cryptos. But again, I see a big value in cryptos. I don't see it as money. In fact, I see cryptos being very dangerous as a form of money. And I see that cryptos are being used, in my opinion, to get people used to it as a form of money, especially the younger generation, and that kind of frightens me. We'll take a look at what China is doing right now. Let me move into an article done by gata.org. This is a great site that you need to have in your bookmark bar if you're new to this show. And the reason I say that, just keep it real short, because I'm sure a lot of people are sick of hearing us, that they are the people that know all about how manipulation is done and can prove it, and it's a great website. You really got to take a look at it. But let's take a look at some of their articles here about that. Here it is. Trying again with the mainstream financial journalists who should know better. Well, here is, what I've always talked about with these corporate journalists is that, they may know equities, they may know the bond market, they may know the currency markets, but I have yet to find any of the corporate media, whether it's CNBC, whether it's Bloomberg, whether it's Wall Street Journal, whether it's even Fox Business and the rest of those. I haven't seen any corporate media yet that has really any good gold experts on it. You really have to search the internet to find people that know the gold market, like gata.org up here. These guys know the precious metals market, trust me, and they know how it's manipulated. But manipulation, you don't want to bring that up with corporate media because they're in denial about it still, even though people have gone to jail, even though people have been fined for it. But no less, we're not talking about that. We're talking about cryptos on this particular subject here. Apparently this Bloomberg author, Mr. Authors, what a great name, the author, Mr. Authors, wrote an article called Bitcoin is Displacing Gold as an Inflation Hedge, which is total bullshit headline to start with, because Bitcoin can't replace gold as an inflation hedge. Its volatility, number one, is just insane. Number two, what do you own? Nothing. Zero. There's no commodity there. You don't own any copper. You don't own any aluminum. You don't own any corn. You don't own any soybean. You don't own any gold, silver. You own nothing but a 1 and a 0. That is completely dependent and reliant on internet and power. That's not money, folks. It'll never be money. However, there are countries, including our own, I believe. I think the U.S. government is going to try to go to a cryptocurrency at some point. They're going to, as I've said for the last year, the crypto that we're seeing, Bitcoin, I believe, is an experiment of sorts. It could be. I mean, that's my conspiracy to some degree. Maybe it's just a great experiment to see how the general public will accept a 1 and 0 as money, an online credit as money. And maybe and the experiment has seemed to be successful, especially with the younger generation. They seem to like this, but that doesn't surprise me, coming from the gaming generation, the generation that would send their money to buy digital credits to play a game. That doesn't surprise me. They view that as money, but it really isn't, folks. Again, my analogy is even if you're for cryptos and you're a big crypto person, if you're someplace without internet and power, what do you own? Absolutely nothing. Gold and silver, you own something. It's a real hedge. It's made by stars. It's not made by some guy named Satoshi or whatever his name was. Whether Satoshi is a human being, whether Satoshi is a government, whether Satoshi is a bad player, a evil person, who the hell knows? Nobody knows who Satoshi is, which makes this even more creepier, in my opinion. But no less, I digress again. Trying again with the mainstream financial journalists. So this Bloomberg guy talks about how that gold is being replaced by Bitcoin. What he doesn't realize is that gold and silver has been not even competing with fiat money. Governments and our central banks own gold. Look at Fort Knox. Our country's wealth is based on our gold. Look at Hungary buying lots of gold right now. Look at the Russians building up their gold supply. Look at the Chinese building up their gold supply. So if gold is an old relic, if gold and silver is not money, if gold and silver is being taken over by cryptocurrencies, how come all the major central bankers and all the most wealthy and elite out there own gold and silver? They don't own cryptos. They're trying to get you to take cryptos. Now let's take China, for example, here. I'm going to move along here, but kind of a good article here. He calls out, Gada calls out this article, Bitcoin is displacing gold as an inflation hedge, and it's a bullshit article. And again, what do you expect from Bloomberg? What do you expect from mainstream corporate media? This is the kind of nonsense you expect from them. Let's take a look at an article I wanted to talk about here that was, it's done a while ago, 2019, November 1st, China's secret gold-backed cryptocurrency to destroy the U.S. dollar. Max Kaiser got it half right here. Max Kaiser did get the part right that the China's is developed and has developed and is in the process of distributing a now cryptocurrency to replace their currency, their current paper currency. China wants to go to a completely cryptocurrency, and that's creepy too. And you got to understand why this is creepy and a bad thing, not a good thing. I actually liked this when I first heard it. When I first heard Max and other people saying, "Well, it's going to be gold backed. It's going to be gold backed." I was thinking, well, that's kind of cool. If it was gold backed, it would probably not be too awful. But I was thinking to myself that can't be true. What government wants to gold back something when they've been trained to live on fiat? And fiat's more profitable to governments. They can print endlessly with fiat. That's the beauty of fiat. Why would any government or central bank want to give that up? The fact is they don't, and they won't. They won't give that up, period. So that's exactly what cryptos are. They're going to just be a endless fiat, okay? But that's the beauty of gold and silver, is that it is finite. It's made by stars. It's not made by some human out there that can endlessly make gold. Max Kaiser got it half right. Max Kaiser was correct in saying that China was going to roll out a cryptocurrency and that in effect it was going to hurt the U.S. dollar, and that's exactly. China has two reasons that they rolled out their own cryptocurrency. And by the way, China made Bitcoin illegal. Bitcoin is illegal. Private cryptocurrencies are illegal in China. I don't know when they did it, but they did it some time ago. They allowed it to happen for a while. Then they made it illegal. Then they rolled out their own type of cryptocurrencies. But we'll go into what their crypto entails. It's nothing like the one that, it's nothing like Bitcoin. It's nothing like private cryptos. And I'll tell you why I think that the U.S. government's going to do the same, and so are European governments at some point. China's, again, they did not back it. Here's where you got it wrong. They didn't back it by gold. Which again would have been beneficial. I think that if they had backed it by gold, even people like me would have looked at it and said, ooh, something backed by something. But I don't trust the Chinese government any more than I trust any other governments. And maybe, not even maybe, I trust the Chinese government a lot less, unfortunately. Love the Chinese people. I think the country's beautiful. Can't stand their government. That's my opinion. So let's move along here to the articles that we're seeing in Forbes. China's digital currency is about to disrupt money. This is mainstream. This is corporate folks that you're reading here. And I think what they're doing is they're getting people used to the idea that cryptos are going to be rolled out. So China's digital currency is about to be disrupt money, and it is going to disrupt money. And what I was talking about as far as the U.S. government goes, how this screws the U.S. government, the U.S. dollar, is that China can now avoid using the U.S. dollar. China, even if the United States said weaponize the dollar against China, and believe me, we weaponize the dollar. We've done it against Venezuela. We've done it against all kinds of different countries where we just lock them out of the dollar system completely. But once cryptos are developed, China can just kind of surreptitiously go around. They can avoid the whole dollar system. They don't need the dollar system anymore. They can do peer-to-peer direct transfers without going through the U.S. banking system or the U.S. financial system. So right off the bat, this is bad for the U.S. dollar, and that's a topic for a whole nother show. And if it's bad for the U.S. dollar, it's going to be really good for gold and silver. You don't want to get suckered into investing in cryptos. Trust me at this point. Well, if you know how that game is rigged and you can play it like a casino and you can make money on it, great. But as money, don't get suckered into it. Trust me on this. Don't allow our government to replace the paper dollar fiat with a digital 1 and 0 fiat. It's even worse, folks. And one of the things that's true here is China is rolling out the digital currency. I think they want to do away with currency. And there's a lot of reasons they'd like to do away with currency. Check out this one in Zero Hedge, which you can read yourself. China's digital yuan comes with an expiration date. Holy shit. Think about that. Think about if the U.S. government right now was on a digital currency or a digital Fed, let's call it a Fed coin or whatever you want to call it. So you get your Fed coin dollar, and you got your stimulus, you got your $1,200, except you didn't just get your $1,200 Fed stimulus, digital stimulus. Your Fed digital stimulus has an expiration date. Now I'm talking about in the future here. If the United States is able to convince all the stupid Americans out there to roll over to a digital currency instead of a hard currency, which I think is a major, major mistake. It's bad enough we're not on a backed currency and we're on a fiat currency. Now they want to roll us over to a digital currency where they have complete control, like the Chinese is right now. That's absolutely insane. So China's digital yuan comes with an expiration date. So think about that. The United States, 10 years from now, sends out another, or just imagine today if we had a digital currency and they sent you that stimulus or whatever, $1,400, and they said, all right, here's your $1,400. However, you have to spend it in 3 months because that's what they really want you to do. They want you to be good consumers because the more you spend, the more they tax, the more people work, the more tax they get. It's all about taxes, folks. Trust me. It's all about them making money. So they want you to spend that stimulus, not save it. So if they told you it had an expiration date, oh my God, they could boost the economy like that, but meanwhile, it's just more control, more control, more control, and more control. And that's what they're looking for, is more control. The Chinese have had it, and they're even getting worse. The Chinese government sucks, man. They're all about control for sure. Let's take a look at some of the downsides. This is in ZH2. Which article is this? China's digital coin has nothing to do with Bitcoin, and neither will the Fed coin or the Euro coin or whenever the central bankers try to sucker us with a digital coin. we're going to be in big trouble. Take a look at what the new. I'm going to read this. Just because money has the word digital in the title doesn't mean it's a form of Bitcoin. It is not. Well, I'm going to even go further than this author did and said, just because money has the word digital in the title doesn't mean it's a form of money, period. That's my opinion. It is not. It's nothing more than a government currency with a different delivery system. The digital yuan does not live on a public ledger. Now, you folks that are interested in cryptocurrencies understand this more than those that don't, and this is important. It is controlled centrally by Chinese authorities to be changed if, as, and when political whims require such, which means that if you were a multimillionaire in China and you did something that the communist government doesn't like, they will just eliminate your Chinese coins, your Chinese crypto coins. They'll just cut you right off, okay? The digital yuan is not peer-to-peer currency, but rather requires the use of officially regulated financial intermediation, okay? The digital yuan does not have a market-based valuation, independent of the old version of currency. So you get where we're going here, folks. The digital yuan is programmable to the point that the currency can be made to expire, thus forcing consumers to use it by a certain date. This is a twist on an obscure, unconventional monetary policy innovation known as just sell currency, expiring money, which gives the issuing government a heightened degree of control over money velocity. Wow, how powerful is that? And more or less, what it's saying, control, control, control. And cryptocurrencies, whether it's privately issued and whether it's publicly issued by a government or anyone, by a bank, folks, it's all about control. Once you have given in to electronic digital fiat, private or by a government, you have given up all your control. You have now major third-party risk. What is your third-party risk? Loss of electricity, loss of internet, the two simplest ones of them all. You lose either two of those. You have a major internet virus go worldwide. You can't get online. Things are destroyed. Power companies are destroyed. Power. What are you going to use? But anyway, I digress. We've talked about this before. I'm trying to talk about the dangers of what they're trying to get us used to. They're trying to get us used to this type of payment system. And while the United States has allowed Bitcoin and the other private currency to exist, I think the problem is, and an SEC official said it, and it was just an article done by Zero Hedge here, is that you can't control the internet without shutting the whole internet down. However, that's not necessarily true. A friend of mine, Steve L, I'm going to call him Steve L, has explained to me how cryptos can be shut down. They can be shut down from the point where they start and from the point where they go. So the coins themselves, you can shut it down. Trust me, they can shut down the whole system. And China has basically made cryptos illegal, and then they've adopted it. They got their people used to it for a little while, trading it and stuff, and they said no more. And the Chinese people are used to their government telling them no more. I wonder when they'll fight back one day. I hope they do. But no less, I digress. They're getting their people used to cryptos, and now they're going to go to a completely crypto system eventually. And again, very dangerous. I hope that doesn't happen here. You should hope it doesn't happen here as well. Not good for the future. And the digital yuan, one more point here, the digital yuan permits a new method for surveilling the population, creating new data which can be tracked by authorities. Bitcoin has a pseudo-anonymous protections for user privacy, but Bitcoin can still be tracked. People used to think that Bitcoin was completely private. It can be tracked from point to point. So, if you have it going from one point to another point into your bank account or whatever system you were using to do the trading and your name is on that account, yeah, you can be tracked by the IRS or any government official. But again, I digress. The whole point of this is that I think that the federal governments of the United States, and I think that Europe, and I think countries all over are going to try to adopt this technology. Because think of the beauty of this. Now you don't get dollars anymore. You get crypto dollars, or you get crypto rubles, or you get crypto pesos, or whatever it may be. So, you know, everything's happy and fine. And then one day, and the Chinese do this already with their social credit system, then one day you owe a fine or something like that. You don't pay your taxes properly. You miss something, or you don't pay a civil infraction or something like that. And you go and you look on your mobile device and your phone, and ding, ding, you know, all of a sudden you're $1,000 poor. So this is very dangerous, folks. Getting to a cashless society is very dangerous. You know, again, the beauty even of a U.S. dollar in its current form as a dollar bill or $100 bill is that you can trade it out there, and you can be somewhat anonymous. When it comes to cryptos, you're screwed, folks. You're screwed. You're an anonymity, and you're also screwed as far as being able to be free with your money. And not having people know everything you do and what you do with your money and where your money goes. And that's where we're headed to if you're not careful here. And gold and silver is so much better than that, again, because what did I say at the beginning? Made by the stars, not by humans. So gold and silver is made by an explosion, a star exploding, or maybe two stars hitting each other and imploding or exploding with each other. Gold and silver is extremely rare. It's a finite amount. In fact, I was just watching, if you took all the gold on the planet Earth, it would fit on a tennis court that would be about 30 feet high. Think about that. That's very finite. I'm sure you can create a lot more digital tennis courts. So, no less. Here, let me move along from here. Some good articles about that. And I kind of explained my whole reasoning why I think it's important to own gold, silver, and precious metals. Meanwhile, not to diss cryptos. If you're making money and you know how that game is played and you're making money in it, why not? But I'd like to tell my crypto friends out there, as you're making that money, why not buy some gold and silver bars with it? I think it's a great way to store wealth and keep wealth. And again, one of the things I wanted to talk about is gold and silver. If you want to get rich, don't buy gold and silver. Gold and silver, and again, I don't mean, you know, I'm not negating my business. What I'm saying is gold and silver is not about getting rich. It's about wealth preservation. And as I said the other day in my show, it's you know, the hardest part of making money is keeping it, and that's what gold and silver and precious metals is about, is keeping it privately, keeping it where you have no third-party risk, which I mean, you don't have to worry about gold, you know, your power going out or your internet going out. You don't have to worry about, you know, you have your wealth in your hands. It's not out there in space in the netherworld. So again, that's just my opinion, folks. Let's move along to some precious metal prices today. The coin said a bear, and that's kind of what we got here going. I guess the coin doesn't lie here. So at least not today it did. Let me kind of refresh this because it's been about 15 minutes since I looked at the prices here. We're holding on to that 1730, but still got whacked about 11 bucks. Silver's below that $25 level just a little bit, and platinum, wow, $28 down. Kind of interesting. Again, provides you a good opportunity to buy the dips, as I've been saying. When you see, you know, buy, sell, or hold. Well, if I could take the sell button completely out of the equation for most people, I would. And again, that's just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. It's my opinion. But I would completely remove the sell button, and I would do two things right in this environment: sub $2,000 gold, sub $30 silver, sub $1,300 platinum. I would just either hold or buy, hold or buy. That's my opinion again. And the best deals out there are still 90% U.S. silver coins. You can buy them for spot plus $4. If you're spending more than $5 an ounce premium on any silver, it's too much, folks. There's better deals out there, whether it's 100-ounce bars or 10-ounce bars. Look for good resaleable product that's under a $5 premium. Unfortunately, silver and gold eagles and maples and all those other products are just too much. They're over $5 premium right now. It's too much money, in my opinion. Same thing. Yeah, it both applies to gold and silver. Gold, try to stick with bars right now. They're under $100 per ounce premium. Most of the coins are well over $100. So if you can find bars for under $100 made by, you know, Swiss Credit, Valcombi, you know, the Royal Canadian Man, any of the good bars, and you can find them for under $100 premium, that is the best deal out there. Again, that's my opinion. And that's really about it. I'm going to answer some questions from the video on Friday. Going to be pretty quick. King Toba asked me about technical analysis. Has no value, but You got to look for technical analysis for what it is. Technical analysis is charts. Technical analysis is the past. And basically, it's like trying to drive a car using the rear view mirror only. You're trying to figure out where the future's going. But oftentimes, where you've been doesn't necessarily mean where you're going. So that's the problem with technical analysis and charts, in my opinion, Mr. Tolva. Black, silver, hey, you're first again. B.R. Williams, April 9th. Come on, man. What is April 9th? I'm sorry. I guess I should know that. Reese Berry says, I'm rethinking about buying gold eagles and silver eagles. Consider golden bars because of the premium. What is your opinion on gold IRAs with precious metals held at your vault? Well, listen, I think, first off, my expertise is in, I'm sorry, Reese Berry. My expertise is in gold and silver physical products. So I absolutely think that there's better deals out there. They're American gold eagles and silver eagles right now. And I think if you're spending more than $100 for a gold product, it's too much. So stick with the bars, in my opinion. Same thing with silver, 90%, or bars if you can find them if they're under $5 premium. As far as gold IRAs with precious metals held at the vault, I am not a financial advisor, so I can't tell you about IRAs. I don't know anything about them. I just know about gold bars and bricks and stuff. As far as people holding my precious metals, I don't care where it is. I don't even like ETFs, as you know, if you watch my shows, because I think it's third-party risk. When it comes to gold and silver, it's the one product that you can actually physically hold in your hands. You can hold it. You can have it yourself. You don't have to have someone else hold it or carry it for you. And in fact, I think that's the worst thing to do. I'm a big fan of physically having it in your hands. So in my opinion, Reese Berry, for me, I'd rather have it in my hand. I don't like anybody having my gold in their vault, period. I hope that answers your questions. Hey, and thanks for watching, Reese Berry. DB, I got 100 ounces of opium rounds. Pretty cool. Did you see my show on Friday about Ohio precious metals? That's what that is, opiums. Kind of cool story behind it, too. Thanks for watching. Michael Fernandez, hey, thanks for watching, too, sir. Good to see you. Great info. Thank you, sir. Silver Surfer, good info. Thank you. Elemental made a 2-ounce round. Mount Rushmore. Yep, Elemental made a lot of different beautiful products. Again, that was my show on right here. That was the show here. Ripped off, actually. Sorry about that. I forgot. Who did I say? Oh, DB. Yeah, you were just replying to my show about Elemental. Sorry about that. Lost what show I was talking about. Thanks for the update. Thanks for watching, Thomas Maxey, Steve Higbee. As far as I know, NTR is in Las Vegas. I don't even care about NTR, but thanks for telling me that. And thanks for watching, Steve. I appreciate that. And unallocated. Oh, yeah, it looks like the spelling was wrong at the beginning of the show. It said unallocated. But I guess you could say that was a little L instead of a big L. So maybe I did get it right. Well, that's really about it, folks. I'm going to end this show. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. If you got any questions, give me a call anytime between 10 and 4, Mondays through Fridays. Happy to answer whatever you need. Again, that's about it. Have a nice day, and if anything crazy happens today, I'll get back. If not, talk to you tomorrow, and let's see what happens. Good day.